not have a live stream going. So I'm actually going to do a live beer chat. I'm going to actually take a look at this beer from Stillwater Artisanal. If it's your first time to the channel, welcome. Definitely appreciate you. I do these different live beer chats, usually to talk about one of the beers I'm actually trying, and then afterwards have a little chat stream if people want to ask questions or talk about it or talk about anything along those lines. Then I usually follow that after pretty much a little bit of a beer review. So hopefully you'll stick around. And if you like what you see, remember to hit that thumbs up. And of course, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And as always feel free to comment. Love the interaction. That always makes everything so nice and great about it. Hey, what's going on, Vanessa? Cheers to you. Hey, Angel, cheers to you as well. Both of you tonight out there on a nice Saturday evening. And hopefully things are going well and you're off to a good weekend here. So the beer I'm going to take a look at tonight is actually from Stillwater Artisanal, which is always kind of an interesting brewery on how they come up with some of the different beers. And their labels alone are always kind of, I guess you say, a little bit out there, kind of an artistic type feel. So this is actually they're searching for, which is actually a screen that you would see on your computer. As I back it up here, you can zoom in a little bit. So you see the keyboard, you see the space there, and it's like you're doing a Google search, and it is actually searching for something meaningful. So 0 results found. There you go. So this is actually an Imperial Stout that comes in at 12% ABV. It is brewed with Sangiovese, I'm trying to make sure I say this right, Sangiovese grapes and aged on oak. So it is oak barreled, and it has a little bit of a wine feel to be expected, I would believe, with this one. 12% ABV again, a nice pint-sized can. Stillwater out of the New York area where they usually brew. This one here was actually brewed and canned by let me see here, by Great South Bay Brewery in Bayshore, New York. But I do believe Stillwater now has a location there as well. They were kind of like a gypsy brewery that would actually pop up and have stuff brewed for them at different spots. But I'm going to go ahead and get this baby open into the glass and see what it tastes like and go from there. Vanessa says, bought a maple stout from a company in West Hampton, Mass. I will take a pic tomorrow when I try it. Very nice. Always like a nice maple stout too. A little bit of that sweetness. So I'm going to get a pour. Now for this, I'm actually using one of the tulip glasses, which actually help to condense some of the aroma that you're going to get out of the glass here. And that's one of the reasons people like having these for some of the beers that have a lot of these things here. Let me try to get this backwards into the camera. You know what? Let me switch to the other cam, and then that way you'll see it better in the background. There you go. Although you really can't make it out because of the white label. But the beer itself came out initially about 1.5 fingers. It's about a finger right now on the head itself. Nice tan head. Dark color on the beer. Light behind it. Pretty much a jet black color. So kind of nice and dark like you would expect for a stout, of course. Ooh, nice aroma. What I'm actually picking up is really the grapes coming out first. If you think of a white wine, that's the aroma I'm kind of getting out of the play right now. A little bit of a sweetness there from the grapes that were used. Almost has a sour type note to it. But then behind it, I am picking up some chocolate and some coffee notes as well. Very interesting. You just never know what you're going to get with Stillwater Artisanal because they do so many different things, taking kind of a different risk with the beers they're making, which I always appreciate. As it sits here more, I'm getting a little bit more of that sweetness coming out. I'm getting a little bit more of that almost like a caramel sweetness type note in there as well. Just pulling together kind of nicely. Let's get the taste. What's going on, Arizona? Cheers, my friend. This is very much different. Very interesting. I'm going to put this under the acquired taste category for people. So in the mouth, I'm getting a richness and a decadence that you would expect from an imperial stout, but I'm getting that grape play in there. It's got like a sour type back to it. They're kind of playing off each other. I'm getting a little bit of a white wine type dryness type feel in there as well. But on the end, I'm also getting a little bit of that toffee type flavor, caramel toffee type mixture, leaving a nice stickiness in the mouth, a nice smoothness, a nice velvety feel too. It is a very complex beer to say the least with this one. Carbonation sits fine on it. You feel a little bit of that bubble prickliness on the tongue. But it's weird. It is really a weird one. Initial, the wine type feel. On the finish, your imperial stout type feel. I don't know how they come up with putting these two things together like this, like they did. Um, I think if somebody was just getting into beer, this is one that could be a little bit of a turnoff if you were going, like, say, from macro to craft. I think if you developed a palate over time, this one could be something you might have a more of a little bit of a feel for. But it is unique. It is interesting. Breweries like Stillwater, Evil Twin, Keller, they all do these weird things from time to time. And why I dig them going for it, sometimes I just feel like for me, it's like, maybe when to leave that one there on the drawing board. But at the same point, once you get past that initial, you're getting everything you'd expect from an Imperial Stout. It's just got big funkiness up front on that initial. And that's the best way to describe it. It's kind of funky in the front part. But on the back end, it hits you nicely. Check some of the comments here. Hey, what's going on, Elbow? Cheers, my friend. Admire my productivity. Always good to see you. Well, thanks, brother. I'm admiring the stuff that you're doing as I'm trying to catch up on channels, the stuff that you're doing there as well, getting back into it. Hey, Erie, what is going on? Cheers, my friend. What's going on, Danny? DIP Outdoors, what's happening? Good to see you. And then Erie said hello to Danny as well. What's up? Never mind. What? How are you? Never mind. Tonight, ready to crash, but have to watch me some Rajay first. Oh, appreciate that, Erie. What's going on, Michelle Sparkle Supreme Queen in the house? Cheers. Erie, did Alan show you that picking me and him back in the day? I'm still trying to get over last night. Last night we had a pretty fun time. I think it hit some of the guys on the show a little bit harder this morning. Still trying to get over last night. Hey, what's going on, Dave? What is going on? So, what's up, Rod? Cheers, everyone. Dr. Didi in the house. No, I'll have to ask him about it. Erie said about the picture, and yeah, make sure you share it with the class, Erie, when you get the picture as well. And doing well, Michelle. How are you doing tonight? Also, and Danny's going to send it to Erie there on that picture as well. But as I mentioned, Stillwater is a unique, in a way, type brewery. You never know what you're going to get. You see a can like this, you don't know what's really going on with it. They don't give you a lot of details on the can. They just make mention Imperial Stout with the grapes they were using and aged on oak. So it's an experience to try one of their beers a lot of the time. And there's actually the back of it as well. And in fact, let me pull up the label here too. That way you can actually see it. So that's like off of the internet what the label would look like on this one. And I will pick up Stillwater beers just because I know for the most part they're pretty solid, they're pretty decent, they're doing things outside the box. So I don't mind being surprised with Stillwater beer. But if you haven't bought a Stillwater, just know what you may get. Maybe something a little unexpected for what you might have been looking for. It's kind of the artistic side of them at the brewery. All their labels are done with an artistic type flair like that. And it's a good way, though, to try different styles and to reach out and see different things that you may not have seen before or tried before. Let me see here. Erie said, I almost wanted to hit Alan harder than that hangover. So Alan had a hangover this morning, huh? I didn't have a hangover. Actually, I got up. I had a business meeting this morning I went to. I say a business meeting, but it's actually something I'll bring to the channel here later this week. But met with one of the guys I was introduced to that created a new contraption that you can use for beers, and I'm going to do a video on it and share it with you guys. And it's kind of neat what he actually showed me, and a great way to carry beers and stuff. So hopefully you guys will like that one. Last night, Rajay was one of a night. Yeah, it was a crazy one last night. We had some fun there for sure. Michelle's just chilling. Danny said, "Why Erie? LOL, I just wanted to spin the damn wheel." Well, Erie, you had to come on to spin the wheel, though. You had to come on and be somebody to spin the wheel. You should have spun when you came on for that 4 seconds. Hey, what's going on, Craig? Cheers, my friend. On CBP currently opening a stream, and then Vanessa just came back. Yeah, so I was just doing this for a live look at this beer, and I don't know if I'm gonna do a stream. I'm actually talking with Todd. I think we're gonna actually do possibly a gaming stream on the gaming channel here in a little bit. But I may do like something maybe tomorrow or something for a stream if people kind of want to jump on at some point. I'm going to actually check out Alan's thing because he's going to have Sunday Fun Day going again tomorrow. So I don't know what time I may do something if that is the case, for like a group type thing. I've actually got, I think, 2.5 hours left on my StreamYard, which renews like on Tuesday. So I got time to use for sure. Out most of the day yesterday, no YouTube time. Hey, nothing wrong with that. You gotta get away from it at some points. So we were wondering, because we didn't see you on there, and figured you might have been running around or doing some different things. Because we didn't see you on the Blake's broadcast or Alan's broadcast when we did it over there last night. But that's all right. You're always here when you can, Vanessa. We always appreciate it. No, not the stream. I needed to stay on. I didn't have enough alcohol to stay in that one. Yeah, we were. It was some drinking games for sure. I tell you what, the shots of brandy I had were actually pretty good last night. So after that first one went down, everything after that was pretty much smooth as I don't know what. So I'm becoming a fan of brandy. And actually today I had another beer when we had the meeting. We did it at a brewery, and I had one that was a brandy barrel beer, another one, and that was really good. It was a cinnamon horchata brandy barrel beer. Oh my goodness! I may have to go back and get that one. They only had it on tap, and I'm hoping they can it. But if they don't, I may have to go back and just sit there and do a review on it because it was really a good beer from Braxton Labs. Thought about opening the stream. Well, there you go. That could be something too, Danny. Yeah. Um, I was going to do a stream earlier today, but running around, I didn't get back, and then did some other stuff, and then I was watching some of the basketball games earlier. Because West Virginia got the win tonight, Kentucky got the loss, so it was a good day. And said, "Oh, I haven't gone to do a stream yet, so let's do a stream. Let's talk about one of the beers." Went down to see what beer I actually wanted to try. Grabbed this one from Stillwater and jumped right on here. Went to Haskell Air Force Base and some stores up in Mass. Got home about 20 hours. Um, what did you? What beers did you get, Vanessa, up there? I know you were going to get some beers. You said yesterday or Thursday when you went to the base. I know you had the Dragon's Milk. I know you had the Foreign Extra Stout. I think you were going to try to find some Left Hand. I don't know if you found it or anything else that you got. I got stuff set for streaming. Nice, Erie. I get told out. I'm gonna have a stream. I need to have you and Shannon on the stream to do some point. Because you guys would be awesome. I don't know what I would call it or when we would do it, but I think that would be crazy having you two on there for sure. And I could just sit back and do everything and let you guys all roll it. I just like the Erie and Shannon show. That would be crazy, and I know people would tune in, and people would definitely enjoy it. Anybody else drinking anything out there tonight? Anybody else sipping on anything that you're actually sitting back and enjoying? Whether it's beer, whether it's spirits, whether it's wine, or Erie, whether it's coffee even. Only got the maple. I must hunt beer down on Monday. Yeah, fully agree. Yeah, so I mean, when you're ready, let me know. We coordinate it and we'll get Shannon here. We were thinking about doing the question game tonight, but Shannon actually has to work this weekend. I think she's home. I think she's in bed because she has to get up in the morning. So I'd rather wait till Shannon gets back to do the question game because that's kind of her baby that we do on the show. So maybe next weekend we'll roll with the another question type show. Gatorade, get the electrolytes in. I'm trying to work on comfort. Erie, you do a great job on the things that I've seen you on, that I've been on with you. You do a good job being on the stream. So it's always, I think, tough from our own perspective on how we do, how people are perceiving us. But I'm telling you, you come across great on there, Erie. Happy Groundhog Day. I still dig that movie with Bill Murray. Yeah, that's a funny movie. I heard they were actually going to be replacing the groundhog for something else. I was thinking maybe a robot or something. They said, but they were talking about replacing a groundhog. Um, which I don't even know if the groundhog saw the shadow or not. How's that? We I would say 6 more weeks of winter, but we really haven't had a winter in Cincinnati. We had the least snow in this month in history. We're going to be 60 tomorrow here in Cincinnati, which is crazy for January or February now. Um, so I don't know. I'm not getting any snow, and I enjoy it. We had some flurries yesterday, but they didn't stick. And if I don't see snow again, I'll be okay with that. After my kid goes down, I'm gonna get me some coffee. There you go. Hopefully she's feeling better too. By the way, I know she was sick last night, so hopefully your daughter's feeling better. Not sure, Danny. I've been trying to think about mine though. Yeah, and this is we moved February 2nd, 1968, into the home in Broadbrook, Connecticut. I always celebrate Groundhog Day. Yeah. If it ends in a Y, I always celebrate too because I have a beer on any day that ends in a Y. Oh yeah, but no, it's as this beer sits with me now, getting through the first initial blast of it, it's actually I'm warming up to a little bit. You don't really get the alcohol coming through as much. It's 12% ABV, like I mentioned, but you're not getting a lot of booziness coming through. You do get a little bit of oak. You do get a little bit of a vanilla in there as well. And it does have a nice duration of the flavor that kind of sits inside your cheeks. So you don't have to feel like you have to keep drinking it as much. There's not as much of an astringency taking place with this one. No fevers since about 9 a.m. Also, and that's always good news not to have the fever there. Um, so hopefully she's on the mend coming back. Oh, Elbow's drinking a resin by 6 Point. Cheers, gang. And I do like the 6 Point beers. I do like the resin. I haven't had a resin in a while. And Elbow, I'm looking forward to your next beer review on your channel. If you guys haven't checked out Elbow, make sure you check him out. He's started to do beer reviews and he does the music stuff. So tomorrow's Sunday. I'm thinking you might do a music video for your Sunday series as well. So nice relaxing time over on Elbow's channel. That is the home with the butternut tree on my Instagram. I took the pic from Schoolyard facing east. Okay. I need to go back. I actually haven't been on your Instagram in a little bit of time. I need to check out some of the stuff there, and I have to look. I think you put up the finalized on the cup holders. I believe I thought you may have, but I have to double check to see if I saw that and liked it and everything. Dee Dee's having a barley tea right now. Had red oak Vienna lager and 7 Saturdays earlier at a golf course. Nice. You get a lot of golf in, my friend. I'm jealous on that, but that's the Carolina life. If you got the weather, go out there and play golf for sure. Didi, what is your? If I can ask, do you know what your handicap is? Are you like a scratch golfer, by the way, or do you play enough to be able to do that, or are you just pretty decent? I mean, you got some great courses down there as well, so um, I just know you play a good amount of time. So I'm thinking you're probably doing well when you do golf. I haven't golfed for about like 2 years, I think, since the last time I went out and played. Just usually I just can't find the time for it. Yes, my final test leather can holders have been steady use. Nice, very nice. So I just love how Vanessa always has these different projects she's working on. Let me see. DIP, I want to start a stream up for Saturdays because we have Blake's Friday Night Throwdown and Alan's Sunday Fun Day. So I want to start up one for Saturdays. Well, there you go. You can definitely do that, and that definitely fits right in as well. Usually on the main thing I do on the channel is usually Thursdays when I do the Beer Flow show right now. It's kind of like the mainstay type show, or if you want to say podcast I do on the channel. But these type of things, I'm trying to get more routine around the 9 o'clock hour, 9:30, 8:30, somewhere in there. I'm trying to do these, but I'm going to have more focus on stuff. I'm actually creating a new calendar right now, and believe it or not, I'm debating on having a day when I'm going to introduce like a malt beverage. So I was talking about that last night as well. Um, I don't know. I was thinking about calling it like Malt Madness Monday and doing it on Mondays and having some type of malted beverage to actually review, whether it's malt liquor or like one of the flavored malt beverages. But I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do yet. So I don't know if I do it this Monday or might wait till next. But that's something else that I'm working on, and then some other projects as well. Just need to buy the side of harness leather for the commercial version. Nice. Well, you're definitely on the right path to everything. It seems like you got it down. So um, you're in good shape there. And at this point, I mean, you're what, three quarters, 80% done, maybe with the fire pit that you were doing, with everything how you wanted it to be finalized. I think you were targeting April to be done completely with the fire pit, but that's been looking good along the way as well. I always thought having a fire pit would also be a cool thing. But with this beer, I will say if you're not a fan of like sours, you might be turned off by it as well, just because you do get that sour note in play. A little bit almost like a sour, almost sour apple type feel from the grapes they use there. But it is interesting. Again, I don't know how I'm going to rate this on Untapped. I mean, I always like to give extra points for the effort on it, and I can drink this. I am drinking it with no problem. So I'm thinking when I put on Untapped, it'll probably be like a 3.75 out of 5 for me because it's decent enough, but it's not something I would come back to. But it's something that makes it unique, and that's what I love about craft beer. You have all these different unique things that are made. Too cold to play today, just ate and drank. Don't play a lot, but I usually score in the mid 80s to mid 90s. That's pretty good. 3 to 4 days a week now. Looking to get into the low 80s. No, that's definitely pretty good along those lines. I only play once in a while, and I can go out and I can play in a one course. I'll um, go out there and play and have a decent score. Another one I can blow up. I mean, I actually by hole I can go out and par or birdie a hole and then come back and I end up with a double or triple bogey. It just depends. The thing is, I don't have the consistency. Like one of my buddies that used to golf with this, he was on a golf team, and he just said, all the technique and everything like that I've got down when I golf. I just don't have the muscle memorization of it because I don't do it enough. But he's like, if you did this enough, he thought I could easily be a down to a scratch golfer. But I do enjoy getting out there. I do enjoy playing. The best shot I had in golf, I didn't even see go in the hole. It was I got a two on a par four, so I got an eagle, and I basically knew what I was doing. I was cutting trees to get to the green, and the ball came down, I guess, on the other end, and people were coming down the trail, and they said, "Oh my God, you put it right in the hole." And me and my buddy were golfing, and we thought they were screwing with us, and so we rode up there, and this was from about 150 out, and went up there, and lo and behold, it was in the hole. So best shot I ever made. I did not see go in the cup. But I almost did win at least on a car one time at a golf outing. I got it within 3 inches of the hole for a par three, and it was actually on a trail into the hole and it just stopped. But I ended up getting closest to the hole, so I won a Callaway golf bag out of it. So a nice consolation prize. But if that would have went in the hole, that would have been freaking awesome. Uh, yes, April buy-in, April fire brick to complete wood fired oven. Okay, so now you'll get the fire brick then. Hey, what's going on? You do it? How have you been doing, my friend? Haven't seen you in a bit, so hopefully things have been well. I know we caught up a little bit last week, but decided to kind of just kick it tonight. I did a little bit of a review earlier on the beer I'm drinking, and now just kind of chatting with everyone. So what is going on in your neck of the woods? And I do have a simulator in the house to practice on a rod. I have more golf clothes than any other type of clothes. So I think you're ready for retirement then. You're ready to just hit the course for retirement and not have to worry about doing anything else. And then Danny says, cheers to you do it. And you do it. Says, hey there, back to DIP Outdoors. And so, yeah, if you haven't seen You Do It's channel, make sure you check You Do It out as well. Hit those three dots next to the name. If you haven't seen DIP, Danny's got his channel up and going. Does a lot of outdoor type stuff. So hit the three dots next to his name. Everybody on here, if you're not familiar with it, you can hit the three dots and they'll say go to channel or look at channel and open up a new tab and you can check out their channel. And if you like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button and start checking out their stuff as well. Doing good. A lot of side hustle work for me. Hey, side hustle's the best hustle some days. So I'm actually looking at trying to do a little bit more of that myself. I mentioned earlier before you came in, I had a meeting today for I don't want to give it away yet, but I'm going to be sharing a video this week on a new uh, beer, I guess, contraption or beer tool you can use that I met with the inventor today. We kind of went through it. He gave me the idea of what he was looking to do with it. He's more of a designer type thing, so then I actually went through kind of looking through the market and the sales aspect, gave him some different ideas, different business plan type stuff, knowing some of the connections I have. I'm going to try to get him in with some of the breweries and some of the shops and stuff like that. But it's actually a neat tool, and I actually asked a couple people we were there um, their ideas on it because we had the product and all that kind of stuff, and they were pretty positive about it and how they liked it and everything like that. And it was just two random people. And when you're in sales, you have no problem talking to anybody random about any type of idea that you may have. So I think he was a little surprised when I did that, but that's the best way to find out. He's going to be actually also coming to Beer Fest. So when Todd, what's going on, Todd? As I saw you come in, when Todd comes up for Beer Fest, him and Shannon in March, he's going to actually be there as well. So I'm going to introduce him to some of the beer people that I know there and help him get a nice feel about the product. Also, we found out last night or Thursday night, the Kentucky Brew Crew guys are going to be up here. So that's going to be a blast. All nine are coming up. So Beer Fest, I got to be able to get good video that day because it's going to be off the chain for sure. We got a bunch of people coming in. We're going to have a lot of great video. Eric coming down, Big Daddy Chronicles. So we got a lot of good stuff that'll be happening for that. So you guys are going to enjoy that video, I know. Or those videos. There'll be more than one because I also do some videos with some of the beer guys, but some of the beer people from the breweries and all kinds of stuff, and just the crowd itself. So that'll be a nice little project to work on for sure. Let me see here. And then, okay, but the hustle work, you do it. And Todd was saying, what's up, everyone? I can't swing anymore with right arm. They're used too much accumulating damage and titanium. Yeah, well, with all the stuff you had happening, I guess it makes it too tough there, Vanessa, for sure. And then software engineer by day, side hustler by night, right? That should just be like on LinkedIn. What is your side hustle? Everybody should have to link and put their side hustle on there. Vanessa said hello to Todd and back and forth. And yeah, I have a side hustle every day, Danny says. So you almost have to. You got to be able to do different things out there, and there's other opportunities. I don't do enough hustling because the main stuff during the day, I do the YouTube usually at night, but there's other opportunities I know that I'm missing out there. I get emails from different stuff. There's different websites you can actually join where they'll actually look to outsource their business, and I get invitations to try to do stuff there, but I just usually don't have the time to get into it. And it's kind of like you don't want to get into doing so much stuff you're not having fun. So I like to have fun more. I got enough for my main job to pay the bills and do the stuff I want to do. This is all fun enough stuff after that. So whatever comes from it ends up coming from it. Dee Dee said, what's up, Todd? And DIP says, good money in my hustle is just the waiting on the flip. So a little bit of time in there. Side hustle will be leather can holders and bags, heavy duty work bags. Very nice, yeah. And one of the things, like for you were doing, Vanessa, that I brought up for the person I'm working with here, is he was looking mainly like at the beer type stuff, and I'm like, no, you're undercutting what you can actually do. So you have the beer, but with this product, you also have companies, like my industry that I'm in full time is the financial services industry, and we send out a lot of promotional items, or we give a lot of promotional items to a lot of financial advisors. This is a product you can do that. Like with Vanessa, your thing is something that can appeal to other companies like that as well that might want to give out promotional stuff. We have things like, you know, wine type stuff. We have stuff like beer type stuff, picnic baskets, all kinds of different things. And something like leather cup holders. So we do koozies, but a leather cup holder could be a nice upswing for someone as well. So don't just think about that. You got all those other opportunities as well. John Taylor in the house. What's going on? Says, what's up, juicers? Cheers, John. Hopefully all is well tonight. Vanessa said, oh, homemade baked breads from wood-fired oven too. Yeah, that sounds good. The pizzas from wood fire ovens, I've always loved those. Or the restaurants that actually get them in from Italy are pretty freaking awesome. Know what Walrus and Tupperware have in common? Both like a tight seal. Oh, Tunis has arrived. And then Daddy said, no, Vanessa, I wish my hustle was that easy. Well, the thing is with any hustle is that they're usually not that easy. Otherwise, everybody be doing them, right? So with the hustle does come to hard work for sure. Yes, I'm learning the 3D printing to be able to add people's logos to the can holders, which are awesome. Yeah. And you could do so many different things. Adding logos, I mean, with the cup holders, all the different opportunities you would have, get on with the promotional company. It was kind of funny when I was talking to my guy because one of the people I actually met, the fortune, and I always say you put yourself in the right circumstances to always benefit down the line. I don't believe personally in luck, but I believe in putting yourself in situations, I guess you could say serendipitous situations where luck is more to favor you. But I was in different things that I met at the one time one of the original people from Shark Tank and had good conversation with that person. And now we still talk like on LinkedIn through different things. He's someone in my fold that I can kind of bring opportunities to along those lines. And what people don't sometimes get, like I was telling a person today, it's all about relationships. You go out here and you have to build relationship circles. He was saying how he was having a hard time approaching some of the breweries direct, and they'd always tell him, well, we'll get back to you, we'll call if interested type thing, blah, blah, blah. When you're dealing with stuff like that and you're trying to position something, you got to have the relationships to get in front of those people as well sometimes. So deals are done through relationships more than calling just direct in. They don't know who you are from anything, but if you got someone to vouch for you, that's how you really make the hustle work. So you got to be out there moving and shaking and getting into the right circles where you do get noticed. Let me see here. PA Brew News in the house. What's going on, Paul, my friend? Leather pot. Yeah, no, Paul, don't go there. I was like, we're not even at 10 o'clock, but we are at 10 o'clock. We are over the out of prime time space. Cheers, everyone. Oh, a friend uses 3D printing and leather to emboss leather using a 1-ton Harbor Freight hydraulic press with a 3D printed reverse image dies. Huh, okay. Tunis said I had Chinese for dinner. My first cookie said every exit can be an entrance. Long story short. Oh, Tunis, you are the perfect joke writer there. I believe in luck because all I get is the bad luck. Is it the bad? Well, you have had some bad luck, Paul, but the bad luck has made you stronger as a person, I believe, though, too. After my logo is created, I will be asking for other company logos to test can holders for. The reason I hustle is because my everyday job just don't pay enough, so I have to do my hustle to pay my bills. Yeah, gotcha. Nothing wrong with that. And definitely, and Vanessa, yes, exactly, do you do it? And my next side hustle will be which side of the bed I would get out of after I feel like getting up. After 30 years of having two jobs, I'm with you, Rod. It's time to have some fun time again. Yeah, it is. Like, we don't want to work ourselves to an early type grave. We want to be able to enjoy our stuff. It's kind of funny when, with what I do in the financial area, like when we get different designations for stuff. So I basically, one of my designations is a certified retirement counselor. So I went through a lot of different training about retirement and dealing with retirement and the type of plans and all that kind of stuff. But it was kind of funny. I didn't realize until I went through the course, it wasn't really until World War II, because of the surplus that was earned, um, that people were starting to have retirement years. Really, World War II is what led to building of the middle class. And before that time, pretty much people worked themselves 80, 90 years old, however long. Well, actually, it was less, shorter life expectancies, probably to the 80s or 70s until they died. It was totally different. And it's kind of interesting when you see that, you put it in perspective, because then you think, well, really, it's only been like the second half. At the time when I took the course, like 2000s, so the second half of the 1900s or whatever, that we've actually had this for 50 years, where people were actually starting to benefit from retirement. Um, and now you're seeing stuff now where some people do struggle. I mean, there's, even though like you'll hear things like unemployment being low, you have people that are holding two jobs or two and a half jobs to make ends meet. And so if they're doing it two jobs or two and a half and not really just the one, they're not getting all the full benefits of one job either. So there's some hidden stuff in those numbers as well. But at the same point, I'm not a person that wants to get back and work themselves into the grave. I want to enjoy the ride along the lines. We're only on Earth for a certain amount of time, so we should be able to enjoy it while we're here as well. And so that's why I say, like, go out there, do what you're doing, have fun. If you're in a job that you're not having fun doing it, why are you in it? I mean, you're in it maybe to pay your bills or something like that and everything, but honestly, you don't need to be in a job that you're not enjoying. So if you're in that kind of thing, then get out of it. Find the things you actually want to succeed in and have fun when you're doing it. Otherwise, you're just going to, you work yourself into a hole, in my opinion. Got a question for you. I want to start a stream for Saturday nights. What could I call the stream? So Danny wants to know some ideas on what to call his stream. What do you want to focus on, Danny, on the stream? Give me an idea on a couple of the topics you want to look at. Then maybe we can come up with some names for the stream as well. If you want to do something like outdoor type fun, or you want to do something just like kickback, whatever comes to mind type chats, let me know some ideas there that we can kind of throw some stuff together. And then that says semi-retired. I teach when I sign new contract. Yeah, so and that's nice because you're semi-retired and you just pick up work when you want to pick up work, which is nice along those lines. Hey, what's happening? TR's in the house. TR, welcome. First time I think I've had you on here. I know we connected before on some of the streams, and I do pop in on yours as well. If you guys don't know TR, definitely check out TR. He does a lot of great stuff on his channel, and especially if you're a YouTuber, you need to connect with TR. He's always doing shout outs and promotions to help people grow their channel. I definitely tell you all that have a YouTube channel right now, hit those three dots next to his name and go subscribe to his channel if you want to grow yours, because you will benefit greatly out of being connected with TR as well. For real. So I'm just telling you, that's a great opportunity. Great to have you. Hope you're having a great night, TR. Anything you got going on tonight, let us know here in the chat. Saturday Night Sit Down, DIP. That's not a bad name. Saturday Night Sit Down. That's something out there as well. We need someone in the South to start some fireside chat streams. There you go. So Danny's in the South. So Danny's in Alabama. Not much more Southern. You can go there. So he can do some different streams there as well. I kind of like that Saturday Night Sit Down. That has a nice little ring to it. But, Danny, what are you thinking? What do you want to offer on your channel for Saturday nights? Do you want it to be like an entertainment type hour? Do you want to be something where you want to teach and educate type thing? You just want to have fun? You want to have like as a free, whatever comes up, freelance type situation? It's just, hey, whatever comes up, we're going to talk about it here. Because I think once you know how you want to position it, then that helps you. Like, so for like our Thursday night, I do the beer flow show, and it was more something that came with over the years because, we're basically drinking beer on it, but we're having a different talk about beer, but we get into other stuff as well. So the whole idea behind the beer flow was that basically we're going to be enjoying some beers and we're going to flow with whatever else comes out of it. And you think of beer, when you pour beer, it's kind of flowing as well. So we kind of tied that all together, but it wasn't locked into just beer. We always flow with what people bring up, as everybody knows that it comes onto that channel. And so you tie your words into what you want to be able to offer there. Danny said, I'm so far south in Alabama before you hit water. Grew up in Gautier, Pascagoula, Mississippi. Did I say that right, Tunis? And well, you went from Tunis. Aren't you in Michigan now? I think. Am I right that you're in Michigan? Or are you still down south? I thought you went up north from the times we've talked over on Flo's show and everything. You could do something off the southern type angle as well. For your channel too, Danny. Southern chat or down south down south with Danny. You could do whatever down south with DIP, whatever you want to do. You can kind of do it. Kick back, whatever comes up. There you go. So that's like how you want to do it there. So you want to have pretty much an open type feel. You know, kicking it with DIP or something along those lines. However you want to kind of go with it. You're trying to go with. Blake has the Friday Night Throwdown. Alan has the Sunday Fun Day, and it could be like Saturday night kicking it with DIP or Saturday night. If you're trying to work kind of the Saturday in there, people always try to rhyme or kind of get another S word or something like that. I mean, there's different things to spitball on what you kind of want to do there, but it could be just like a Saturday stream. I'm trying to think off the top of my head right now, which a little cloudy with some of the beer, but I mean, you could just like Saturday night with DIP, and you could have something as basic as that even. Oh yeah, Illinois, that's right. Close to Michigan, kind of. I say close, but you're really not because Michigan's actually more upper north. But yeah, I forgot Illinois. We talked about that the other day. Yeah, and then I haven't been up there in a while. I need to go back up to Chicago at some point because Chicago has some pretty good breweries up there too. Steven, you're pretty much my neighbor. I live on Dolphin Island. There you go. Vacation in the Pensacola and Alabama border region a lot. There you go. Down in the Panhandle. What's going on, Eric? Saturday night suds. There you go. That's what Eric had out there as well. Thomas Metal 75. Steven said, I used to love going over the bridge and looking at the ships and subs being built in Ingalls. LOL. Suds Your Day. There's an interesting one from Thomas Metal. Basically, what Alan and Blake do it Friday and Sunday. And Jeremy said, holy heck, Rod J live. It happens. It's been known to happen. Size in the house. What's going on, Cy? Says Drunker Day. There you go. That's kind of an interesting one. Drunker Day. DFP says, cheers, Jeremy. Hey, what's going on, Angela? Cheers. Nice to see you. Hopefully you're doing well this evening. Says hello. And Cy says, Illinois is like Illinois. Hell, I can relate. But Illinois isn't that bad, right? I mean, it's Illinois. Angela says hello to Dip and Jeremy. And then Jeremy said, cheers, Dip. And hey, Angela, hope you're doing great, Jeremy said. Blake TV in the house. What is going on, Blake? Cheers, everyone. Just got home. What is going on in your world tonight, Blake? What do you got happening? Blake just left Jeremy's house, and actually they do live there, and they actually play music and stuff together too. So if you haven't seen Blake TV's channel, make sure you check out Blake as well. Always entertaining, always a good time. Puts up some great videos of the songs they're actually covering. So make sure you check out Blake, and making sure you check out Jeremy, who's also doing some stuff on his channel. Plays guitar and everything like that too. So great person there, and his wife Fifi, who does some good stuff as well. Oh hell, he's home. It looks like LOL. We're the boy from Illinois. Sai says, and Steven says hello to Angela. Angela says hello, Blake, and Angela says I'm doing fantastic, awesome, good to hear. And Jeremy says sup, Blake, long time no see. And Vanessa says hi to everyone. And Steven said I wouldn't go to Iraq with a platoon of Marines on me. LOL. I have fun in Chicago when I go up there. Now, obviously, you have to know where you're going. You got to keep your head in the swivel. But I grew up in New Jersey, and we had Camden, which was at a point like the worst city in the country or whatever, the most violent or whatever. Went over to Philly. Philly had their issues, so I don't know. It takes a lot to kind of scare me, but you always have to know your surroundings. Dolphin Island. What about this water. Disregard that last one. I didn't mean to put that. And Blake said, hello, everyone. Cheers, fam. Craig said, wish I could join, son. Well, this one, I just have the regular OBS taking place right now. So on the OBS, the only way I can have people join the OBS is if I did it through Skype, I guess. But maybe tomorrow, Craig. When are you around tomorrow? Because we still haven't done your spotlight video. And if you're around tomorrow, then maybe we can set something up and do that then. Because I do have the time that I want to use on StreamYard, so we can definitely try to put something together. Which tomorrow afternoon is a Sunday, which is good, and it'll be, whatever time here in the afternoon. It'll be early evening for you, whatever time. So let me know what may work for you tomorrow if you want to do that. If you haven't heard Blake sing drunk, ask him to sing. I'm too sexy for you. Blake says, smash that like for the awesome host. Thanks, Rajay, for all the kind words you did, man. Well, Jared, no, you deserve it too, my friend. I'm not like Pinocchio in a Geico commercial. I'm not lying. My nose isn't growing. I'm just speaking the things straight from the heart and the truth of it. So, yeah. DIP says, Blake, what up, bro? Blake says, Dr. DD, cheers, what up? Jeremy likes smash. Blake, DIP, cheers, homie. Relaxing, man, relaxing. And Blake says, I was on elbow to Blake the Vincent, cheers. And Tuna says, I think the first draft Constitution New Jersey was made the national joke state. Blake says, DIP says, what's happening to Blake as well. And Craig said, yeah, we'll PM you for tomorrow. Yeah, so one of the things I have on my channel, if you're not familiar, and if you haven't seen Craig on Kemp Beer Reviews, another great channel, hit the three dots next to his name. Go to the channel and subscribe. Craig is over in the UK. He does some great beer reviews. And one of the things I like to do, so a lot of times people forget YouTube is a social product. It's part of the social media. And for me, I enjoy learning about everybody else and what they're doing. So because I'm in the beer community, I have what's called like a beer tuber spotlight. So I sit down and do a video with various beer tubers so you can learn about them and the different things that they're looking at, their background, some great stuff that you'll find out that you may not hear anywhere else, right? So we have a great conversation. I've done it with 6 of the other beer tubers. I'm trying to get more into it, but again, it's time. Craig was next on the list. We've been kind of shuffling around, but it's a great time and a great experience to find out different things and different aspects. So I'm looking forward to trying to get it set up for Craig here as well. Craig is, me and Craig go back a few years now. He was one of the first guys I connected with here on YouTube, and I always appreciate the stuff he does and the support. And we are very supportive of each other. And, if you're not giving back as well, you're kind of just taking. You should be giving with YouTube and any type of thing you're doing as well. Just in life, you can't be a taker the whole time. There's a points where you have to give back as well. Let me see here, and let's see where I left off. Blake said, not much DIP, how are you today, bro? Angela asked Blake how he was feeling. Blake he's on a good time last night. The trucker hat always looks so lonely back there. The trucker hat, don't worry, the trucker hat gets play. I do rock the trucker hat from time to time when I'm out. I've also got some other type of caps that I also put on from time to time. So I do like the trucker hat. That was one of the later ones that I added to the merchandise that I was actually offering. I'm going back to add more stuff in there as well at some point. Again, it's a matter of the time. So I'll be putting more stuff out there if anybody wants to check out the BeerVentures merchandise. You can always find that link in the description down below as well. Let me see here. Bamboo's in the house. What is going on, Bamboo? Cheers, my friend. Big day for you tomorrow. Big day for you and Jeremy tomorrow. Bamboo is 49ers. Jeremy is Chiefs. So those guys will be rooting for their teams tomorrow for sure. Angela says, hey to Bamboo. And if you haven't met Bamboo before, if you like history type stuff, I would definitely say check out Bamboo. He does things on his channel. One of the things he does is like this day in history, where he has a short video and stuff. So pretty cool stuff that he does there. So if you haven't checked him out, again, another great channel. Hit the 3 dots next to his name, and you can check out the stuff that he is actually doing there. And Blake said to Angela, he was actually feeling good, actually. So he was not having any problem at all. Let me see here. Although I think this morning he might have had a little bit of a hiccup in there. A little bit of a little hit there. Rod, cheers my fault spelled it. No, not a big deal. I know what you meant. So believe me, I've been called worse before. So Bamboo Sup Bro from DIP. Didi says Shinedown is nice. The packing district has become brews and food shops now. Yeah, Lagunitas has a nice little spot when I went to their brewery. Next time I'm back in Chicago, I want to hit Revolution and also Acre, Black Acre. I think it's Black Wise Acre, Black Acre. I can't remember. It's Acre, I know that, and some of the other breweries that are around town. Boo says DIP yo yo. Blake says now the bear. That's another story. LMAO. Angela said that's great, Blake. Blake is okay. Hope our friend Alan is okay. Anyone seen him today? No, Erie was just here a little bit ago. Erie might still be here, but I think he did get hit with a little bit of a hangover. Obviously, in our group, we were messaged on stuff, so I think he was probably moving a little bit slower this morning. But I know Erie says he went to hit him harder than the hangover that he got left from last night. So I think he's around. I think he's just maybe resting. And then Blake said how Angela's feeling. Says she's feeling fantastic. No, sir, not today. I haven't seen Alan. Just saw his commentary. I'm the only one who gets nervous when a doctor calls what they do practice. No, it's funny, Tunis, that you say that because I bring that up with a lot of people when they go to the doctors and say, well, the doctor thought it was this and it was that. It's like, well, that's why they call it a practice. I guess they're still practicing. So, no, you're not the only one. Commentary, what did we miss? Drinking homebrew Pliny clone. Oh, very nice. Now, did you make that yourself, Si, or did someone homebrew that? That's pretty cool. No Steven, LOL from Blake there, and not a video, just an apology. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't see that out there as well. Sporty Miners, baby. Go Chiefs. Um, it is tomorrow the best grocery shopping day in the world from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. or what. Depending where you're at, I guess. I mean, I've never shopped during the Super Bowl. I know if you go before the Super Bowl, you probably got a lot of people trying to grab the last bit type stuff for their parties and like that. But I went there tonight actually to grab a few things to snack on, and it wasn't too bad there. It seemed to be decent enough, but tomorrow will be a madhouse for sure. Go Chiefs, are you ready for tomorrow? Jeremy is what Danny asked, and tomorrow's going to be like Christmas for you, Jeremy. Yeah, it is going to be, yeah. The bamboo says, thank you, right on. I think my computer has a Miley virus. It stops twerking. Tuna says, bamboo. And he says, Steven, oh, well, bamboo, how are you doing tonight, brother? That bamboo actually left our stream. I think bamboo was it last night? I think over there. But then you went to was the night before, was it Wednesday night? You went to Beer Man as well. I think Beer Man was around too, doing his streams too. I sure hope so. DIP and Angela. Nervous though to get this close and not win. It would be terrible. Well, unfortunately, Andy Reid has had that happen before to him with the Eagles, but they did win later on. But I don't know. Everybody's like saying you can't go against Mahomes, so you might have a good shot there, Jeremy. DIP doing okay, man. You will talking about you do it. I think you well. Just proud of KC for getting this far. Oh yeah, just have a lot going on tonight. When I die, I hope there are people around. I plan to point at a total stranger and say, "This is your doing," and then die. You should point. He dies like, "This is your fault." Jeremy, we are going to win, is what Danny's saying. Heck yeah, Angela, really proud of them. Thought I'd never live long enough to see my team in the Super Bowl. Cowboys all the way from Blake. Cowboys. Jeremy says, no Cowboys talk aloud. Yes, I did. Do you want the recipe? Mine was a clone, but it didn't hit the balance mark. Yeah, if you want to shoot me the recipe, that would actually be awesome too. On my about section has my email that you can definitely shoot that to me, Si. I'm working till 5 tomorrow. I can't wait to deal with pissed off customers before the Super Bowl, wanting their money. Well, just tell them the more you argue with me, the longer you got to wait to see the game. I think the bear is still at the counselor's office talking about that last night. LOL. Yeah, the bear was getting twerked on and everything last night. And then Jerry said, I sure hope so, DIP. And Yarden, I bet it sucks having to work on a Sunday. from DIP and Blake. Shush with you and your cowgirl talk. Yeah, I mean, how did like the Cowboys? They used to be. Oh, I should say back in the '90s, they used to be right there, right, and then kind of fell off. And it was so funny. My nephew, he actually is in Texas. He goes to one of the A&M schools. He started college this past year, but I remember when he was younger, and they moved to Texas from West Virginia. So I asked him one year, it's like, are you a Cowboys fan yet down there? And he was just like, he shook his head like, no. He's like, we'll never be a winner while they still have Tony Romo, which they never could get past with Tony Romo there. So but he became like a Houston Texans fan because he lived in Dallas, but he just knew there was no chance of winning with Romo. And he was only like 9 or 10, I think, at the time. So he was pretty smart there. He saw the writing on the wall and said, until they get rid of Romo, we got no shot. Let me see here. I shopped for a few items early morning, and it's usually quiet Sunday, so I'm good. Banks are closed, not much for me to do. Last night was unbearable, wasn't it, Tunis? That's a good one, Jeremy. We are never having another wheel around me ever again. Well, who picked the stuff for the wheel? That was all you, Blake. He had too many dance categories up there. Poor Vladimir, Alan said earlier he was gaming some. Yeah, he's got the gaming stuff that he's doing on his gaming channel as well. Good plan, Blake. And LOL, Vladimir the Bear. Blake, I honestly hate the 49ers, but I have to root for them first because of NFC, and second because I want to see the look on Kraft's face when the guy he let go wins it, LOL. There's some satisfaction in that for sure. Can we say that if he wins it, that Bob Kraft would have been rubbed the wrong way? Because we know about Bob and his rub and tug, right? Blake said I did. Sai said got it. I'll get the recipe direct from Vinny at RR. The process is the secret. Mine is somehow like 20 IBU off, and the body is a bit weak. Yeah, I'm sure they kind of put recipes for these clones out there, but it's almost like I bet they leave something out so you can't nail it exactly on some of their stuff too. At least I would think they would do that. You can give someone a recipe and kind of an idea of it, but do you really give them the full gist of everything? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't brewed in a while though. It was brought up about me maybe doing some brewing again and doing some brewing videos. So it is something I may actually look to do. I'm gonna say if I get back into brewing, probably more towards the summertime. I have to cut some time out to try to do that. And then I need to get some more brewing equipment because I think at this point, if I get back into brewing, I'm going to get it into the whole propane gas tank and move stuff to the basement and kind of go that route. So I may get back into brewing some different beers. It's fun. I loved it as a hobby doing that as well. And that's the one thing I think when you actually are doing that brewing, it also brings another element to like the stuff that I'm doing here because you're able to say, you put time in, kind of trying to learn what you can from the craft as well. And I think that's what people often can enjoy too. Because when you don't put your hands on something like that, sometimes you may not see the different intricacies that can make a difference there. Let's see. I think Cutie got jealous last night of Blake and the bear. He said, "That's my daddy. That's my daddy." Kraft got his massages at the Stroke and Poke. Blake Amanda said she wants to finish the rest of the show today after work, and it was up no more. Um, Jeremy Cutie was hiding in the bear, but in spare suit smiling. It's funny. It would be funny if a midget jumped out of the bear, wouldn't? That'd be hilarious. DIP, I will send you the link. Blake said LMAO, Jeremy, and Kay. Thanks, bro. Yeah. What if there was like a midget that was in that bear suit and would have jumped out? Blake would have shit himself. Good quality copper and a worm is all you need. Oh, you meant beer, my bad. Yeah. Although I went to school in West Virginia, I live in Kentucky. I know where you're going with that, Tunis. I know where you're going with that. It's kind of funny. We went a couple years ago back to Gatlinburg, and we went through one of the cavern tours. And one of the tours we went through, it was a cavern that actually had an old still there, and they kind of left it there as part of the heritage of it. and basically took you through how they used to moonshine and everything through it and how they got in. And there was like this tiniest hole. And it's like you had to be the smallest person to be able to get into it, but it was really unique and interesting to see what they were doing. But yeah, we actually saw one of the old historical moonshine type stills. You get that? Oh, get that pic you sent me out. Oh, you're asking Erie. I don't know if Erie is still here. She might have went to rest by now, Danny. But I know you said you were going to send her that pic as well. Um, but I haven't seen Erie comment in a bit. I know she was still checking on her daughter, and fever broke, which is good. So Alan and Erie's daughter is hopefully out of the woods and kind of getting back to normal. I know Erie was gonna have some coffee after she put the her daughter down for sleep and everything. So, but this one here, interesting brew. The more it sits, the more some of that sourness tends to fade a little bit too. But it's definitely a unique type beer. I was looking for my phone here, but I don't know where I put it at. Probably left it downstairs somewhere. Oh well, I'll find it in a second or two. Cutie's in the house. Say my name 3 times and I appear. There you go. What is going on, brother? What is going on in Cutie's world? Old Popcorn Sutton made the best lawnmower fuel. Yeah? Yeah, he's revered in those parts for sure still. I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, but the bear is still in shock. I only said it once, lol. Well, I think, Jeremy, you said it once. I think I may have said it. I think someone else said it. So it kind of accumulated into the 3 times. It's like Beetlejuice. It's just out there. I don't know if it has to be all 3 from one person or 3 total, but it's like, which I was actually, it was kind of funny. Earlier today, one of the places I was at, they had Beetlejuice on the TV set. And I hadn't seen that movie in years, but I heard they're making a sequel now. So you're going to probably see a lot of Beetlejuice popping up being on TV because they're going to make a Beetlejuice 2, I think, that Michael Keaton did sign on for as well. Last night was your night in the bear suit, right, Cutie? Oh, Cutie in the bear suit. Oh, that's funny. The bear was not happy this morning. No, bear's probably a little cranky. The bear got worked last night though, so you really bared down on it. Oh, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody. Bloody Mary equals Cutie. So yeah. Anybody else drinking anything tonight? By the way, anybody else? Nobody's really mentioning too much. I mean, a couple people have mentioned some of the stuff they were drinking. Just curious. So I said the Bears. That was always a great skit with Chris Farley and George Wendt back in the day on Saturday Night Live, and Mike. Oh, what is Austin Powers' real name? Mike. What you call him? He was doing the Bears. Bear probably felt dirty and used this morning. Yeah, felt like a stuffed rag doll or something. Say the name 3 times they appeared. Betty White, Betty White. Just homebrew. Well, yeah, but you got to need the homebrew that you were doing there. About to make a whiskey and Coke. Yeah, Blake. I don't think Blake's had a vodka and soda in a while, or vodka and water. Yeah, he's been on a whiskey and Coke lately. Missed the fridge. Yeah, that was something when you saw them put the fridge in the backfield back in the day. That was like a game changer for sure. So got him win a Super Bowl. Michael Myers. Yeah, I can't remember Michael's last name. Yeah, Michael Myers. I just saw the new trailer for the new Fast and Furious movie, and say what you want to. I like the Fast and Furious movies. I used to drive a Charger. I'm big into muscle cars, so for me, it's automatic. I'm going to see it, but it's got interesting some stuff happening there, like some of the characters that are being added to it now, like John Cena's in it. They're bringing back one of the other characters that you thought had died. It's like you start to wonder, like, is it too much now? But I'll probably watch it. I'll probably go see it. I didn't see the Hobbs and Shaw movie, but I will see the Fast and Furious. It goes again. Hello, Cutie. The bear's on a high dose of herpes made and sitting on a frozen bag of peas today. If Blake wouldn't have had stopped last night, would have had to call the pallbearer. Jeremy's on a roll tonight. Hey, what is going on, Chris? Eastland Farms is in the house. Rick James, bitch. Rick James. Another fun channel. If you haven't checked out Eastland Farms, make sure you check out Chris too. Especially when he does his like night streams. A lot of good partying. He plays a lot of good music. People just have a nice kickback, fun time. And then he also has his game cam that he puts up there too. So it shows the different wildlife that comes across his property and everything like that. So great channel there too. Fifi's in the house. Hey Fifi, what is going on? Make sure you check out Fifi as well. She does a lot of good stuff on her channel. She's there. Jeremy Vincent's better half, right? So make sure you check out Fifi as well and what she's doing here. And Chris said you as well, Jeremy. Tunis, I like the fast movies, but at some point they would get all political like the rest and screw it up. Yeah, you wonder if that's going to happen at some point. Depending on how they end up going down it. I mean, I guess all Hollywood tries to put in some stuff here and there when they can do so. But those have been pretty much just action-packed flicks for sure. It's kind of interesting because I also saw in the new one, Charlize Theron is back as well, so she's in the new one. I didn't see anything with Kurt Russell. I didn't see anything with The Rock being in this one. But then like I say, you got John Cena in there now, which is kind of interesting. So we're going to see how that all plays out. But I always enjoy those. They're pretty much an adrenaline rush type film. So let me see here. Angela says hello to Fifi. Tuna says hello to Fifi. And Blake says hello to Fifi. And Swami's in the house. What is going on, Swami? LOL. Fast and Furious is a series of movies made for douchebags and gym rats. I don't know about that, Swami. Come on, man. Coming in attacking people. Don't be doing that, son. as Swami probably powers around in his electric car. So what's up, Blake? Just because I may be a douchebag doesn't mean I like the gym too, Malton. Yeah, you can't stereotype people for sure, right? Redbeard's in the house. What is going on? Redbeard's is what be going down. Redbeard, another part of the beer community. If you haven't checked out Redbeard, you can check him out. He's actually up in North Bay in Canada. And you can hit the dots next to his name if you want to check out his channel. He does a lot of beer reviews, does a lot of gaming. Although the last gaming, I don't know if you're still doing the Minecraft as much, but you were doing that for a while and see what he has to offer. And also Malton in Montreal. Obviously, he's in Montreal, Canada. But if anybody is looking to learn more about whiskey type things, and although Malton will do stuff like beer from time to time, really whiskey is his main foray. He runs a really good whiskey type channel, so make sure you check him out, and he will give you a rundown of all the different whiskeys out there that you may want to check out as well. Let me see. Got a moonshine still, but it's not in Alabama. Well, there you go. We guess it's in Colorado because everything else is in Colorado, right, Blake? John Cena ruined wrestling, and now he will ruin Fast 9. You can't see him, though, Blake. You can't see him. And Chris says, hey to Blake. I never got John Cena in wrestling. Hell, he isn't even that big. I thought he was funny in wrestling. He was a good character in wrestling. And the crowds fell in love with him. He became popular. So, Redbeard said, LOL, Malta's Fast and Furious comment. And Blake, Eastland, cheers, brother. DIP, John Cena is in Fast 9. Yeah, he's in Fast 9. Dude, I ride a Segway. See? There you go. Malta's on the Segway. Cheers. Cheers, Red. Fast and Furious may take the crown for the most sequels for Friday the 13th. Do we know how many Friday the 13th were there? Wasn't it like, were they up to like 11, I think, on Friday the 13th? Well, Halloween right now has been trying to do more. So they had the Halloween that came out with the, later on. They got another Halloween sequel about to come out now again. So Halloween is also another one that's tried to get a bunch of sequels after it. Have you ever tried putting table salt in a disappointing beer? I have. If it's a disappointing beer, I poured some beer out, or I just dealt with it, I guess. I never put table salt in it. However, One of the things I learned from like Jerry, the beer review guy, if you ever seen Jerry Ford's videos, he talked about before when he was young, his I think it was his grandfather or his dad used to put salt in beer for lager to add a little feel, and he's picked it up himself. So I guess for like some of the macro lagers, that's a thing to put salt in there, and that adds a little bit of a flavor into it. But I've never done it personally, but I do like a lot of things like Gozes, where you have that salt type back or some of the beers that can give you a little bit of a salty type feel. Most sorority girls ride segways here too. LOL. Good one, Tunis. Danny's like, agree, Steven. I can't drink. I tried. John Cena was surprisingly okay in blockers. True. He was okay in blockers. Like Mike Myers, he is tied with Ric Flair, the GOAT. Enough said. Blake, is he tied with Ric Flair? No, Blake. No, John Cena couldn't have been tied with Ric Flair on championships, which I don't think he had the popularity to get picked and win that many times. Had he? Maybe I'm wrong. 13 Friday 13th has to be. I don't know if they got to 13. That's the only thing I was thinking. Like they might have got to 11 or something. But you know what? I'm going to check the Google machine to see how many Friday the 13th there were. Let me see here. 11. I was right. There was 11 Friday the 13th movies, so they still have not gotten to 13. I wonder where they put Jason versus Freddy. I don't see that listed in one of here. Technically, that was kind of a crossover when they had Jason and Freddy going at it. Of course, back in the day as a kid, I think the biggest boogeyman was Michael Myers. He was like the worst one. He didn't even chase. He didn't even run after people. He just walked slowly because he knew he was going to get you. That's confidence right there. Yeah, no, there's only 11 Friday the 13th technically, Tunis. So they got really two more to get to Friday the 13th film. I mean, like I said, if you want to throw in the Freddy versus Jason, I don't know who that was under, but they didn't have it listed in that 11 numbers. That I might have been technically a 12, but I don't know who really claims home ownership. It's kind of like the Marvel and Fox thing, right? Who really gets the X-Men? It's a Marvel character, but it's owned by Fox. So they can't get him in the MCU because Fox won't let it happen. So, but there's still a Marvel film. Kind of. If you ever get something stuck in your eye, put salt in it. Well, there's some advice from Swami. Let me see. Try it. Don't do it for a beer you like, but if you have one that's close and doesn't quite get there, add a pinch and see if it's better. Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind, Si. If I get one, maybe I'll try that with like a one of the adjunct loggers. Like I said, that's the one I know I saw Jerry had actually done that. So, and it seemed to actually work for him. 16, my friend. Even though Ric Flair is 23, but WWE doesn't recognize them, so they are tied. Huh. He has 16 different titles. And, well, I mean, it's all made up anyway, right? So it's just who they actually chose to have the title that year. Blake says 20 watching, 21 likes. Smash that like. Well, appreciate that, sir. Does Friday with the ice cube count? Does it? Well, that's a good one there, cutie. Awesome chat. 1-2. Freddy's coming for you. 3-4. Better lock the door. Disney owns MCU, right? So they own them, and they're still going back and forth. I mean, Spider-Man, they were able to get Spider-Man over, then Spider-Man was getting pulled out, but now Spider-Man is back in again. The whole X-Men thing is the big thing they were working toward because, we have Black Widow coming out in a few months, and Black Widow, the goal of it, from what I know and what I've seen, is also going to introduce the first mutant. Because with Black Widow, before she was part of the Avengers, she was basically part of what, because of the creativity of Marvel back in the day, the Russian Avengers, and they actually had a mutant as part of that team. So they're setting it up down the line for all this to cross over. I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of interested more now, though, for MCU 5, because they're going to introduce Blade in the MCU universe, which is going to be pretty interesting, too. And then I'm also interested to see how Morbius plays out as well, and the crossovers that might go into Venom and Spider-Man. So Part of me goes back to my geekdom as a kid. I was a big comic book type person, so this has been great seeing all these comic book movies come to light that they've actually been working on. With that, though, if you're really like a geek, it's probably some parts that bother you because it's like, that didn't happen like that in the comics or whatever, but you have to give a little bit of leeway for sure. They own the mutants now. I think they brought everything from Fox except for their news networks, even on The Simpsons. Well, what's up, King Boo? Cheers, by the way. Well, they got another one coming out this year, too, called The New Mutants. And I think Fox owns that one as too, and that was also Marvel as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that actually plays out. Um, and then Blake was finishing out with the whole Freddy thing, 5, 6. Get your crucifix, 7, 8. Don't stay up late. Mike Myers and Jaws were the best, even though Jaws was sharks. Yeah, Jaws was. I think you ever heard the story before. So Jaws was the first movie that actually kind of freaked me out because when I was a kid, I wanted to go see Jaws, and my mom was like, "You're not going to see Jaws." You're like, I think I was like 5 or 6 years old, and you know how kids are. We throw tantrums, so I wanted to see it. So all right, so she took me to see it, and within the first couple minutes, that swimmer gets eaten, and it's like, okay, I don't want to see Jaws anymore. And she made me stay the whole time to watch that movie because she's like, I told you didn't want to see it. You said you were going to see it, so you're going to stay here the whole time. Spent most of the time covering my eyes because Jaws freaked me out that much as a kid, but she was like, you forced us to come see it, so now you're going to sit here. So, you know, I was stuck there to watch Jaws, and being in New Jersey, I didn't want to go to the shore for a few years after that because of Jaws, but that's the life we grew up in. That's when parenting was parenting. Um, Rod with the hardcore live stream game, baby. LOL. Let me see. Oh, nah. Blake says pro wrestling is real. LOL. You remember back in the day, there was a thing where Geraldo Rivera used to be on 2020. He did an expose on wrestling, and he approached, I think it was Dr. D at the time, and asked him if it was fake or not. He said he slapped him in the head or whatever. I don't know if it was ever true or not, but like Geraldo lost part of his hearing. He said after that incident, like, because he was, I don't know if that was just part of the whole job thing or if he actually had happened, but it was kind of funny when that did happen there. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, people say it's fake, but it's fake in the outcome being kind of known. But the guys are definitely athletes that flip around and do the stuff they do, and it's choreographed. So it's fake, but it's got definitely real bruises and all that stuff. Definitely does wear on your body as well. How many been created by the porn? Well, I don't know about that, Malted. Yeah, if anybody ever watches it for the writing? LMAO, Malted, Fifi's laughing at. Oh, let me see here. Let me see where that scroll down. That's the only thing I like about OBS. It can scroll on you real quick. Fantastic Four being integrated in MCU is going to be really good, I think. Here's the thing with the Fantastic Four, though. How many Fantastic Four movies do we have to make before it finally gets accepted? And I didn't even realize before, because I didn't even watch the last remake of the Fantastic Four, but Michael B. Jordan was actually in Fantastic Four. I didn't realize that before he was in Black Panther. Did not realize that at the time. Hopefully this one sticks, I guess. But then again, the Punisher took a few amount of times before it finally settled in. And the best Punisher was actually the Netflix series with John Bernthal, which is actually great because the talk is now that he's going to be playing the Punisher when it flips over to the movies. So him and then Charlie, which we're calling to play Daredevil, are two actors. They're saying they're going to play them in the movie roles, which would be pretty good. I don't know what they're going to do with Iron Fist, if they're going to bring him in or not. I never watched any of the Marvel movies. They're pure action, Angela. It's kind of like, you go there to get a release, have fun. You're not going to go to it to expect this big Oscar contender, but they're fun. It's like a roller coaster ride of a movie, I think. So, King said really interesting. Black Widow comic books are sticky, never near mint condition. After Jared Leto's Joker, I'm a bit apprehensive about Morbius, LOL. Yeah, but you know what? I feel like Morbius is going to be a redemption for Jared. Although I didn't really mind him that much as the Joker for Suicide Squad. I thought he just played it differently. But think of Ryan Reynolds. Think of how bad he was as Green Lantern and what he was able to do as Deadpool. We're not going to talk about when he was on X-Men because that was just crap. But he totally got into the right role when he revitalized himself. So I think that hopefully Jared Leto also gets that opportunity and also develops into playing a great part. It looks good from the trailers, but trailers are what they are, trailers. Morbius looks good. I agree, Swami. And King Boo said yes on that as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I have hopes. My hopes set to neutral. Well, it's always better to go in with the lower bar. That makes it easier. New Mutants is 4 years in the making. They reshot 3 times, so you know it's going to suck. Well, maybe they reshot it so it would be better than what needed to be done. I don't know. I don't know why they reshot it. I don't know if people may have left or whatever it may be, but we'll definitely see. It's got potential. It's got potential. They're also going to be having at some point the Young Avengers that'll come into play. They were saying like I think next year or the year after. I mean they've got this stuff mapped out for like the next like 5 to 10 years or so. There's going to be like a ton of movies coming out. The interesting one that's going to be for me to take a look at will be the remake of Blade, which they got Marshawn Ali as playing the Blade character, which is going to be pretty cool. And then how they're going to work that into the MCU and everything along those lines, which would be pretty interesting. Although I did like Wesley Snipes playing Blade as well, but it is what it is. They got delayed since 2018, or if I remember correctly, and sometimes it's delayed for other reasons that might be in there too. So, ready to get to watch the new Joker. Oh, cutie! Let me just tell you, the the Joker movie is freaking fantastic. It's a different type of play on the Joker, just so you're aware of it. But Joaquin Phoenix delivers a great performance, and there's different Christmas eggs, or what they call them, like the Christmas eggs, I think they call them. They put them in the movies that you might notice or you might not. I mean, I wasn't that much of a geek to notice it, but people were pointing them out. But there's definitely some different things in there that kind of go together well. Yeah, you're gonna like that. And it's not just about the characters, about a lot of other stuff. So it's got various layers in that movie. It's really good. I hope you enjoy it. My mom took me to Jaws. I had swimming lessons like 2 weeks later. Yeah. Well, were you swimming though in the pool or were you in the ocean? Cause see, being in New Jersey, we would go to the shore every summer, and it's like you're going into the ocean. Well, that's where Jaws is. I don't want to go in the ocean. Remember at that time, Saturday Night Live used to do like the bathtub skit back in the day with Jaws eating people in the tub. So as a little kid, like I don't want to take a bath. Jaws is going to come get me, you know. So Jaws had that high of an impact, and I think Jaws for me is one of those. You'd always say like, what are the top movies that you may have seen in your lifetime? Like Jaws for me is a movie that's easily in my top 10. It's one of those movies that I can sit down at any time, and if it's on, I will watch it to the end and again, even though I know what's going to happen. That's how you know it's a good quality movie. You're always hooked into it. Um, can't wait till they finally do justice to the X-Men franchise once again. Yeah, I will tell you though, Logan I thought was really good when I saw that, and that was kind of like the Wolverine for adults, which was great. I thought that was a great one they did with that, and it was just sad for what was going on in the movie, but I thought it was really good. Interesting to see who they will eventually recast as Wolverine. Yeah, they were. The latest rumor I heard about the new person to play Wolverine is the guy off of Stranger Things. The one dude, the one kid, the black kid who has the girlfriend who's the redhead, her brother. I think it's Billy, might be the brother. That he may be the one that actually takes on the Wolverine role when it's recasted. So we'll see how that actually works out. They're like giant ballerinas. Yeah, I mean they are graceful. Some of the wrestlers for sure. It will, but do you think they will use a different mutant to be the face of X Men next time around? I don't know. That'll be interesting to see. I don't know if they will actually do. I mean, there's so many different ways they can go with the X Men. They kind of did the whole reboot with the newer cast already. It's going to be interesting to see how they actually have that going forward. Rajay looks like a single guy on the kiss cam at a baseball game. Mwah! Kiss my beer. There you go. Danny DeVito for Wolverine petition sign. He played the Penguin. He could play Wolverine. No idea. I'm looking forward to see how they do it. They could use Logan's female clone. The OG Punisher movie was good. The original was it was decent, but I think John Barenthal killed it as the Netflix series. I think he was the one that really fit the role the best thus far. Let me see here. Angela asked how Fifi was doing. Rule number one: we did not talk about Green Lantern. Yeah, I mean, but it had to come up for the point, just for comparison. Just for comparison. Um, Let me see. Wait a minute, I lost my spot here. Where did I scroll down to? Redbeard said Burt Reynolds wasn't bad as Green Lantern at all. He was a pretty decent Green Lantern in a pretty horrible written movie, lol. New Mutants has a doctor from Logan. I just want to see Galactus done correctly. I also want to see Adam Warlock enter soon. King Boo said, who that? I'll 100% agree. Galactus was not done well in the second Fantastic Four. That was awful. LOL. Land Shark, swim lesson. We're in Lake Michigan. Oh, Bamboo, The Natural, Stand By Me, La Bamba. Which is scarier, Jaws or the original Hitch? Oh my goodness. I remember the original Hitcher with Rucker Hauer, but it was Jaws. I mean, Jaws was a beast. Like, you just don't go out there and hitchhike. But, Jaws is, yeah, Jaws was scary for me. Now, back in the day, also, another one that was scary as a kid was Cujo, which happens to be the only dog I've ever been bit by has been a Saint Bernard. But Cujo was one that freaked me out with some of the stuff there too. I cried twice seeing Professor Wolverine die in the same movie. Yeah. The Boys is a hell of a show. Super looking forward to season 2. Yes, I still have to finish season 1 because I just didn't get a chance to. And with the Amazon Prime, I have to watch it on my phone. I get tired of watching stuff on my phone sometimes, but I do want to go back. The first one I saw, which was just the first episode, was really good. It's just I need to sit down and watch it. Goonies is a classic. Goonies was a classic. I mean, you got the Truffle Shuffle, you got the Rocky Road Ice Cream, you got all the stuff in there happening. So I do like Goonies. The Boys is Fire. King Boo said The Sandlot. Sandlot's also a classic. They're making a remake, not a remake. They're making a sequel to The Sandlot when they're all like older, grown up, and everything. They said so that'll be interesting. I don't know what you can really do with that if they're like all older. If it's gonna be like a Sandlot Cocoon or something. I don't know how you're going to be pulling that off, but they said they're making a sequel to it. Redbeard, Cutie said Redbeard, me too. Birds of Prey is failing horribly. I didn't even know Birds of Prey came out. I thought it came out in February, but I don't know. I like Margaret Robbie as Harley Quinn. I'll probably watch it, but I won't go to the movies. I'll watch it like on HBO or DVD or some bootleg type thing or something probably. Bamboo is 40 years old. Great movies. Silver Bullet scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Yeah, that's an old one too. Silver Bullet. There was Firestarter as well. Scanners back in the day. Um, you think of some of the movies. One of the scariest movies I saw as a kid growing up was actually a made-for-TV movie, but it was Stephen King, and it was Salem's Lot. That was one of the scarier vampire movies I saw growing up. Exorcist, when I first saw that, because I didn't get to see it in the movie theater when it came out, obviously because you couldn't bring kids into it, but when they put it on TV for the first time, that actually freaked me out because I was watching it at my grandma's and grandfather's house, and they had like a big, one of those old 2-story big house, and I was only went upstairs. All the lights were out at the room I was in, and she turned her head down. I just pretty much went downstairs for the rest of the night because I did not need to be up there by myself after watching that happen on The Exorcist. But you know, I always like a good scary movie that gets you going. Halloween was always a good one to get you going as well. Friday 13th was pretty scary, the first one. Then it started to become a parody of itself after that. I guess we're all tired of virtues signaling feminists. LOL. QD actually 35 LOL, but love the 80s and 90s movies. You can get the Prime Video app on PlayStation, so you can watch it on TV. Oh, well, there you go. That could be something there because I do have Prime already, so I can put on my thing. Good looking out there, King. I'll check into that. Access Amazon Prime from your PC. I didn't think about that either, Red, so I'll check into that too. I was just watching it on my phone most of the time. Jackman might be coming in to do a Wolverine cameo in the multiverse. I heard that as well. Doctor Strange movie. Um, Reynolds GL was terrible. Rocky Horror. Rocky Horror was a funny movie. So the first time I saw Rocky Horror, I was actually on a date in high school, and we were actually at the show. We were, making out. We are going on a date, and all of a sudden I feel getting pelted by rice. Well, if you've never seen Rocky Horror, when it's actually at a theater, apparently at all the theaters, people like to act out Rocky Horror in front of the screen, and it's kind of like a 3D type thing, whatever. It's just different than if you watch it on TV because there's no one in your house acting it out in front of your TV set. And yeah, they're doing the wedding scene. And it's like rice is getting thrown. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And that was all part of the show and stuff. So, but it was a funny show and it is a classic out there. So Rocky Horror is something. Monster Squad was great too. Yeah. Bamboo, Wolf's Preacher, and Fireworks. I was in a movie one time. Trust me, The Blob and Attack of the Centerfolds is better. LOL. Monster Squad was great too. One back in the day that still actually, even though it's dated, it was done in the 60s in black and white, that if you actually in the right mindset watching it, it's pretty still suspenseful and kind of had that feel to it, is that Night of the Living Dead. I always liked watching Night of the Living Dead, like the original. That had a nice little bit of stuff happening there too. Prime app, your smart TV. I don't get a smart TV because I don't want any smart TVs in the house. I don't even have Siri on my phone cut on. I don't do any Alexa, Echo, any of that. I mean, there's too many people listening in on stuff. I'm like, and they tell you they're listening in. So I don't even mess around with that. It's funny. We were doing a show Thursday night, and we were talking about Indiana, the basketball game, and all this kind of stuff. And basically, Shannon's phone heard us talking about it. And she pulled up her phone, and it was all the stuff we were talking about during the show. That's just too much. It's too much. Yeah, and cool dirt wheelchairs. Do you remember the stuff, Bamboo? The stuff. They're doing the Thing remake. I don't know why. I don't know why they're doing the Thing remake either. They shouldn't. They should just leave that alone. Although really, the Thing was a remake of the first one anyway. But the one with Kurt Russell was pretty good. But the original, was already done. So it's probably for these other generations that haven't seen them, I would think. It had issues, but I wish they went forward with the sequel. The Sinestro thing would have been cool to see, Redbeard said to Dave. And then Blake said, Dr. Didi, all they do is remake Sally. No good ideas, I guess, anymore. Total Recall. I remember seeing that as well. Hard to do something new these days. Almost everything has been done at this point. I mean, I would say you're still getting some originality out of some of the stuff they're doing out there, but the thing with a sequel is it's easy to do because you already have the story and stuff out there, and plus you have generations that haven't seen it. So if it was good for one, there's a thought it would be good for the next generations as well. So why not go in and redo that? Totally agree, my friend. There are some good ideas, but it's easy to remake something as well. Bamboo said, "Oh yeah, Hoosiers," which I've never actually seen Hoosiers, believe it or not. And as much as I like college basketball, I never watched Hoosiers for whatever reason. I'm a big sports movie fan. Like I watch Remember the Titans. I watch Rudy. I watched the story with Gail Sayers, and I forgot Brian's song. I watched that. I'm big into sports movies, but I've never sat down and watched Hoosiers. Dan Rajay is a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist as much as just a fact checker on stuff. I guess there's just too much stuff happening. Like I said, I read a lot, I see a lot, and when the people, the companies are telling you they're listening to you, you should listen to them. And be like, do I really want to have my stuff broadcasted like that? I mean, it's easy for convenience to say, come in the house and say, tune to Channel 7 News or whatever like that and everything, but at the same point, when you're not paying attention to it and you're having other conversations and stuff, you never know who could be listening in. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, greater than Rob Zombie's remake of it. Yeah, the first one was really good. Yeah, man, I like how some movies are being redone as extended Netflix series and stuff, though. To Kill a Mockingbird is my favorite movie of all time. Blake said, check it out. Yeah, I saw To Kill a Mockingbird with Gregory Peck when that came out years ago. Well, it came out before I was born, but years ago I saw it. And also in school we read the book as well, which apparently in schools they don't read To Kill a Mockingbird now for I guess the material and stuff. Some curriculums are uncomfortable with it, but hey, that's part of how the history was in the country. Blake, yeah, classic. Red Beer, yes, sir. I want to see The Dark Tower done by Netflix. Well, hopefully it's better than the movie. Although I haven't seen the movie, I just heard the movie wasn't as great, which kind of was the reason I didn't watch the movie. And I thought it would be good because you had Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, and people said it just fell flat there. Yes, Sir Bamboo. Or they redo Harry Potter. That would be cool as well. I heard they're doing like an older Harry Potter movie or something now. So that might be something happening, Redbeard. The Thing prequel was good, but it was very similar to the John Carpenter's The Thing. I still love the black and white original Thing from Another Planet. Yeah, and if Paul was still here, I think Paul's actually working PA Brew News, but he loves the original more as well, and he loves a lot of the original stuff. I would love Hoosiers. Yeah, I probably would enjoy it, Blake. I never watched it. You know what movie though? I just recorded like a few weeks ago because I haven't watched it in a long time. I wanted to go back and check it out again. It was The Deer Hunter. I remember watching it years and years and years ago, and it was on. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna DVR that so I can go back and check it out again because it's been so long since I've seen it. Blue Chips, love that. College basketball one too. Yeah, I saw Blue Chips when that one was out as well. I never also watched the football movie with Vanderfleek or James Vanderbeek or whatever, Varsity Blues. I never watched that one either. That's another one I never saw, but people said was pretty good. Saw a live version of Rocky Horror at Wendy O. Williams in 1985. My friend was an understudy for a riffraff, so got to go backstage. I literally was a few feet away from meeting Wendy. Missed opportunity. Yeah, you were there. You were brushing arms with celebrities there. Don't tell me Rod never seen Hoosiers. Yeah, I've never seen Hoosiers. I just haven't seen it. So um, it's one of those things. Maybe that should have been my regret last night on Blake's channel when the regret question came up. Never seen Hoosiers. Rod's right. They are listening and they're watching. Most people just don't care. Yeah, that's what it's just true. Is they're in there. They're surveilling. They're picking up information. We've gotten so comfortable as a society of putting our stuff out there on the web that we don't realize that we're giving up so much of our autonomy by doing this kind of stuff. And it's, I feel at some point it's going to come back and affect people. So, you know, some people like to crack jokes about people like to live off the grid or whatever like that. I admire for some of the stuff they're doing, living off the grid and things along those lines. And people that go out there. We always talk about like Vanessa who does like hunting and all kind of stuff that she can do, which is always awesome. People that get off the grid, they're not going to have any situation where things end up happening, when people might lose information along those lines. But it's hard to get fully off of it because we have, bank accounts and all kinds of stuff tied into it. But things I can do to limit it, I'm definitely all for that for sure. Bamboo hacked my playlist. Watched all of those this week. LOL, Todd. I know. Yeah. Okay. I haven't watched Users. All right. We're gonna move to the next thing there. Oh, Tazi, you haven't seen Hoosiers? We can't be friends anymore, lol. They made us read the book and watch the movie in school. Yeah, we read that. We read To Kill a Mockingbird. We read The Great Gatsby. We read other stuff like Shakespeare, things along those lines. But curriculums now have changed where you don't see a lot of that stuff. Apparently, I don't know. I feel like that's part of the dumbing down of education in some ways on trying to keep people ignorant on things, but that's just my feel on it. Um, Falling Down, probably Michael Douglas's best. He even thinks so himself. Falling Down was a great movie. I loved him in Wall Street though, playing Gordon Gekko, but Falling Down was a great. It was a timely movie and it had a lot of stuff in there that people probably didn't even realize. Just like how people can be on the edge of stuff. We see some of that stuff now with the acts that take place sometimes, where people are just that close to the edge. But that was ahead of its time. It was a great movie. Duvall did a good job there too. Read Invisible Man. I read Invisible Man when I was in college. That was a great book. That was one of my favorite books to actually read them. My minor was actually in English Lit, so that was one of the ones there. But great book there. So Much Not Good. I hope they don't remake The Exorcist. I had a director's cut and also read the book in 2 days. Yeah, there's some things you don't need to remake. I mean, they may at some point. I mean, I don't know why you would want to remake such a good classic like that. I mean, there's some things you just leave alone, but we just never know. We never know. So much, but good, you man. Okay. That's a good one. Varsity Blues. Yeah, like I said, I've seen parts of it. I just never sat down and watched the whole thing. Program is really good football. I did see the program. The program was a good movie as well. I did like that one. Blake said Varsity Blues is okay. Second DVD I ever owned at 15 when DVD players were $300. LOL. Yeah. Rivers says oof. Yeah. Of. Oh, he said of, not of. LOL. $300 DVD players. I remember. Yeah. It's like that's why you never buy technology when it first comes out because you know the price is going to drop on it, right? So let me see here. Rod's running a live stream and has a dumb TV. Yeah, yeah, you know. I bought a super cool DVD player that can read DivX files. LOL, that's pretty sweet. Not used in like 10 years. What was the movie where I think Gregory Peck was in a wheelchair and saw the murder from the window? Ooh. And then came after him, or was that Jimmy Stewart? I remember something of that from like my mom watching that back in the day. It was like one like 1950 or 60s movies or whatever. I can't think what the name of that is there. I need to pull that up on Google here. Yeah, Wall Street, he was definitely good. Rob watches movies on Laserdisc. No, Betamax, thank you, sir. There's still a problem with their teaching in school. Black history is an elective and completely separate from regular social studies. Yeah, I mean, that is an issue there, because really, that's American history as well, and it should be all just part of under the American type thing. And people find out things later on, like, why didn't they ever teach this in school? Well, it's a good question. I hope they don't remake First Blood. Can't see anyone playing that part. I want to go home, but I can't find your legs. They don't need to. They don't need to remake First Blood for sure. Invisible Man is dope. Yeah, Falling Down couldn't be done now, but it was spot on. I don't know. Could they? I don't. Well, I don't know. Maybe they couldn't because now they would say they'd be glorifying violence in it. Maybe, but it was. It had a moment with that movie where it touched a lot of people into thinking this is where society gets on the edge of stuff. It's like how many times have you going to work and you're driving and you see work crews out there doing stuff, but you're like, there's nothing wrong with that road. That has not changed in the last couple of days to have a crew there. And that's what's so cool with that one part. And they're like, well, nothing's wrong. We're like kind of just here. We're supposed to be here, like type thing. And it's just different things and people push to the edge. And it's just, it was a timely movie. It was, like I said, ahead of its time. But you look at it now, and it's like it was definitely something that was a good piece of work. Let me see here. Oops, let me slide down. Yeah, the program. And if your chat filtering swear words, LOL. Rear window. Because you skipped over a few good comments. I mean, I thought I got your comments there, Red. It's a lot of comments coming in. I'm a one-man show. I try to get what I can get, my friend. Betamax player still works. I want Ready Player One to be a series. The book was awesome, and the movie was a streaming pile of horse poo. So I didn't watch the movie. I have it DVR. So you're saying I shouldn't watch Ready Player One? I heard it wasn't as good as the book, though. But just about nothing is if you read the book. Blake said yes. Redbeard, totally agree. So yeah, I never watched that movie, but did have it saved here. Evidence that swear word filtering is on at Blake TV. Cheers. I don't know if I skipped any of swear words. I mean, there is swearing that happens on the channel here, but I've been trying to keep up as this thing scrolls down. I mean, it's kind of tough catching everything, but I love the interaction. I love the chatting. I try to get them all as quick as I can and when I can. So if I missed anything, Redbeard, I apologize. It's not like it was on purpose. I typed the previous thing a while ago, but poo was a swear. It's like Christmas Story where you don't say the actual word. It's like, oh, that doesn't mean fudge. That means something else. But yeah. But I can't believe I'm watching Dinner Driving and Dives again. I'm going to get hungry again watching the show. Forrest Gump book is one of the only books I've ever read. Way better than the movie. Well, the thing, we talked about this before and some stuff. Like with books, you're able to expand further because it becomes a person's imagination as well versus the movie. So that can actually make books better in the long run if you're sitting there reading that book and really enjoying it because you're making the assumptions of what's happening as well. Old movies. Check out Amelia Estevez and Wisdom. Never heard of that one. Interesting. Okay. Rear Window was the movie you were trying to figure out the killer from the apartment. Okay, see, Didi knows. Still love you, but what thanks, brother. Reminds me of Mr. Robot, Hash Brown, Mr. Hanky. Another one that we read back in the day was Fahrenheit 451. That was another one that apparently some schools don't have on their curriculum anymore as well, which is really interesting one to also read. Animal Farm, of course, that was a big one to read. I think in high school was when we did 1984, but you know, nowadays some of the books and stuff on the curriculums they kind of steer away from those kind of things. That's one thing wrong with the world of Hollywood. No one reads anymore. Yeah, well, like I said, the most underutilized public entity that we have in the country is probably the library. And like if people went to the library more, it definitely makes a more educational population or educated population rather. I also mentioned the Dark Tower movie was all effed up. I've read that series a few times now, and the movie was a goddamn abomination. Yeah, that's what I heard. A lot of people didn't like it as kicked over, but the Dark series, my wife she read a lot of Stephen King, and The Dark Tower, that series, was a good amount of books, and it's hard to get that all into a 2 hour movie. You can almost feel like it's not going to kick over as well because there's just too much information around it. Blake said, Dee Dee, thank you. That's it. Dark Tower's Netflix series could be pretty awesome. Well, yeah, because then you can spread it out over various parts. Yeah. They made a remake of 451. It stunk. I actually saw the 451 remake, and I thought it was okay. I thought it was a different interpretation of it, but compared to the original, it was definitely different for sure. Dark Tower would be hard to do in TV land. Yeah, well, I know with Netflix, they could probably pull off some of the stuff. I mean, they're putting on some pretty good programming on things, and they've definitely got the bigger stars now signing on for the projects. Like, this Oscar, we'll see what happens. Like, I watched The Irishman, and good acting. Obviously, you had De Niro, you got Pacino, you got Pesci. Even Ray Romano was really good in it as well. But I felt like it was just a little too long. I thought it was a little too long for what it actually was doing in it. But there was great acting. So I say that because there was like certain parts I thought they could have filtered out. But Scorsese was telling the story the way he wanted to tell it, and because it was Netflix, he probably felt he had longer time to be able to do that. But 3.5 hours is like if you're anywhere around 3 hours or anything, you better be like Endgame where it's gonna be like action or something because there are parts where I felt like I was dozing off watching that movie. Um, Blake said, "What is the worst movie of all time?" Rivers, I feel like Netflix could pull it off a season per book. Series also show potential. Yeah, I would think so. They could definitely give it a good shot there. Clockwork Orange is a classic. Yeah, Clockwork Orange is a classic. So was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That was actually a classic too. But the worst movie of all time. I mean, the obvious thing you could say is like a Jilly or something like that. I guess right. Showgirls. Um, I don't know. What would be the worst movie though of all time? I mean, I only walked out of a. I remember when I was in college, I walked out of Pursuit Innocent because I didn't really think it was that great of a movie, and it was more because it was a letdown because Harrison Ford and the cast that was in it, I expected more from. But um, if you go in with some idea of some bad movies, it doesn't really compare. So maybe it's like the worst movie of all time that was supposed to be a big type movie that kind of flopped. Um, Doctor Strangelove, Slim Pickens, riding the H bomb. That was a classic scene as well. I feel the Irishman could have been split up into three 1 hour episodes of a limited series. Well, you could have done a 3 1 hour, or you could have done a 2 hour part one and an hour and a half part two as well. You didn't have to do all 3.5 hours at one time with that movie. There's a thing out there to do Foundation, and that's a hard goal. I love The Irishman. The Irishman was a good movie. I'm a big Scorsese fan. I just felt it was too long. I felt there were parts that could have been cut out or trimmed down during some of the story. I felt like at one point you went from a good mob type story into, I want to say in a moment, I felt like I was watching Cocoon with some of the older people scenes. And I was like, I would have liked to have seen that maybe cut down some and come back to the other parts of the story. So it was a good story overall. I just felt like it was a little too longer than it needed to be. What was the cheesy old black and white when octopus came up? It came from below. Hmm. I don't remember the octopus. I remember the old movie Alligator, when the alligator broke through in New York City and started eating people, like the large alligator that someone threw away in their toilet that grew to like a huge proportion. Um, that was such a cheesy movie. It was a cheesy movie. It's like Tremors. Tremors was a cheesy movie um, that kind of created a cult following. It's like, how did Tremors become as popular as it actually did? Howard the Duck was a bad one as well. What was worse, Howard the Duck or Brother from Another Planet? Both of those I thought were pretty bad. Um, like both came out around the time of each other, I believe, too. Which I didn't know Howard the Duck was actually a Marvel franchise either. I never read that comic or anything like that, so I had no idea that that was actually under Marvel. After Earth was bad. Yeah, I agree. After Earth was a bad movie as well. The tech behind the Irishman was pretty advanced. No, the agent stuff was pretty cool that they did with the Irishman as well. I thought that was really cool and how they were doing that stuff back and forth. But again, it's not like it was a bad movie for me. It's just I felt like there were edits that could have been made with it that would have been a little more smoother. Um, oh my God, Chud. That's one there too. Howard the Duck, I kind of liked it, but it was pretty bad, I admit. Yeah. Howard the Duck definitely had some issues with that film for sure. So that was definitely one that probably could have skipped being made. But then again, if it wasn't made, we wouldn't be talking about it. So looked it up. Showgirls is number 2 worst. Okay, so what's number 1 worst then? Killer Clowns from Outer Space worst ever. De Niro was playing a character at mid 30s and late 70s. Yeah. Howard the Duck ranks 4th. It was what Blake said on the list he's looking at. Bud the Chud, size says. um, yeah, no, De Niro. The scene with De Niro and the guy in Florida, that was hilarious. I thought that was a pretty funny scene in the movie when the guy shows up in like casual wear instead of a suit. Still made it into the MCU. Yeah. Uh, Let me see if I can see the worst movie of all time. What my thing shows. It might be Waterworld. That might have been the worst movie as a big flop and what people were expecting. That might be one up there. Oh no, number 1, Battlefield Earth, a saga of the year 3000. Yeah, that was a tough one. But Godfather 3 very bad. Yeah, Godfather 3 was bad, but I don't know if it was like one of the worst movies you've seen. It was kind of like it was like Rocky 5. Like, do we really need this one? We need to fix this up. Um, yeah, far from worst ever. Yeah, that's what Blake just said as well. The Battlefield, um, and that was the one with John Travolta. So that was like terrible. Uh, Worst movie was The Room. I remember The Room. That was pretty bad. Waterworld was up there too. Um, yeah, Battlefield was bad. It has Battlefield as Showgirls. The third it says The Exorcist 2. Fourth is Howard the Duck. Um, fifth it says movie 43, but what movie is that? I mean, it doesn't have a name next to it. Let me see here. I guess it's just called Movie 43 is the name of it. Never heard of it. Had Hugh Jackman, Gerard Butler, Richard Gere, Halle Berry, Kate Winslet, Emma Stone, and Uma Thurman back in 2013. It's got a good cast. And then it has like Cannibal Holocaust. Never heard of that one. Let's see what else it has on this list here. Yeah, The Room is like number 6 on the list. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, number 7. United Passions, number 8. Never heard of that one either. So, now that was actually out of the London Evening Standard, but that was like what they rated as the 8 worst films made. Um, Waterworld. I'm gonna go role play a fake version of myself in GTA 5. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Red. Thanks for swinging in. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to sign off here. I didn't realize we were going as long as we were, but always loved a great conversation. Always we end up going further than I always think we're going into, which is awesome. And the Jason X Outer Space and the future Frozen Jason coming. Well, they had Jason in space. Didn't they do a Hellraiser in space as well? I think Hellraiser had one of their series where they were in space too. Worst movie I've ever seen is Army of Darkness of Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Actually, Kung Pao I thought was hilarious. I thought that was actually funny for a kung fu type film, but I kind of knew it was kind of a spoof type film going into it. No buzz of any kind helps them. LOL. Cheers. The room was on the level of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which is also terrible. What was the movie I watched one time? It was about the tire. What was that called? Let me look at my phone here. It was a really bizarre movie, and I only watched it because it had buzz around it. Rubber. It was a movie called Rubber. I watched one year. Um, I don't know why I watched it. I mean, I actually watched it all the way through. It was at home, but it was like a killer tire that traveled around the country. It was stupid, but one of those things when it's on, you just watch it. You ever get like those movies where you're laying on the couch, something comes on, you really don't want to watch it, but you don't feel like getting up to do anything or get the remote to change the channel, so you let it roll. That's how it was when I was kind of watching that movie. Yeah, Pal was funny as hell. That's what I agree with. Awesome, Rod. Great chat, smash. I like. Thanks, brother. Or Hellraiser. The last one was total garbage. Yeah, and I liked Hellraiser series when they first came out with them. When the cow does the Matrix milk shot, I said after this. But that was the whole thing. It was supposed to have a cartoonish type feel to it. It was like more of a comedy than anything. I saw that it was bad, but in a good way, right? Yeah, I got Robert LMAO on DVD, pretty bad, right? So yeah, it was one of those things. It was like, why am I watching this film? But then again, I don't feel like really changing it. It's almost it gets like becomes like a sub card at a point. Like you don't want to turn off too early because you're almost at that end. You're almost at that reward. You got to see what happens. So it was one of those movies you're laying on the couch and you don't feel like doing anything else. Wait, take that back. Worst movie was the remake of RoboCop. Yeah, that was a bad. Well, the original Judge Dredd was a bad movie too with Sylvester Stallone. I never watched the remake come out, but that was one that was bad. It was funny. One of the things I saw on Facebook yesterday was they were talking about underrated movies, and they said Demolition Man was probably one of the more underrated movies from back in the day, which I thought that was a good movie. With Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. Even Rob Schneider wasn't too overbearing and had some funny jokes. No, I haven't watched Shogun yet. I still got it saved here though. I just haven't watched it yet. Dave, I'm trying, Dave. I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I got so many things saved on YouTube, on movies, on DVRs. Life's tough, bruh. Cowboy versus Dinos was another good bad movie. It's like, man, I'm always trying to catch up on something, it seems. But thanks for everybody that tuned in tonight. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I might try to catch up with Todd. I think he's probably still up. I don't know if Todd's still in your chat or not, but may jump on to the gaming channel, do a little Modern Warfare action and kind of chill going into the evening. Tomorrow, I'm going to actually be live again. Tomorrow, I'm going to get with Craig from Kent Beer Reviews, and so we'll be doing a beer tuber spotlight featuring him and his channel. So I don't know what time we're going to do it yet. He sent me a message, so we'll see what time that is. So make sure you guys hit that notification if you want to check that out. It'll be a great time to find out about how he looks at beer and the different things he's doing on his channel and other things to kind of expect there. And again, just sharing the love. So Todd's still here. Yup. So Todd, we can get together if you still want to play. We'll jump on some Modern Warfare. You can jump over to the gaming channel for those of you that like gaming. If you want to check that out, feel free to do so. The gaming channel itself is actually Rod J Gaming here on YouTube, so I'll get some footage of that up there in a bit when we start doing Modern Warfare. we're gonna go see if we can blow some people up and kill some people in that, and all in the fairness of fun gaming, of course, and kind of chill, crack some jokes, and do some stuff there. But thanks for everyone that tuned in tonight. Hopefully, you guys got to check out everybody else here in the chat as well. A few last comments. Bamboo said Cheech and Chong. Corsian Brothers was horrible. Yeah, that one was a bad one from Cheech and Chong as well. Didi says, peace out, everyone. To the Matrix. Sai says, good night. Blake says, cheers, everyone. Stay awesome. Hope you're live tomorrow. LOL. I'd be sad if otherwise. Well, thanks, Sai. I will be live with Craig, so we'll be doing the BeerTuber Spotlight for sure. And we'll be going through some stuff there. So make sure, again, to stay tuned for that. And thank you, Bamboo. He says, thanks, Ron, everyone. Peace out. But thank you all for being here. And we'll go ahead and sign off. Look forward to catching up with you guys soon. And you guys have a great rest of the night. And if you do come over to the gaming channel, we'll see you there.